All right, that's that. This is old. Well, let me look this up.
Estaban llamando ahí, lo iba a coger y para acá. Tú todavía no estás, acuérdate.
I have a 312-3769. Who might that be?
Yes, this Paul Green.
Paul Green?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Green, I'm going to rename you, and I'm going to ask you to mute yourself until I get ready to call your case, okay?
You want to call me what?
I'm going to ask you, can you mute yourself?
Mute it? Okay, hold on.
Well, look here. I'll just put you in the breakout room until I get ready to call your case, all right, Mr. Green? Because I see you're calling in on the instead of zooming in, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We'll get you as soon as possible, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Which Green is that?
Paul Green. He's at the top of the docket, 3 cases. All right, so I have allowing another person to use the plate. Let's see what that entails. You see the names I have up there, right, Mr. Rattle?
I highlighted ones you actually called out.
Well,
I can't-
are you on the Zoom screen as well?
No, I'm not on the Zoom screen.
So that would help to align as far as the people that are going to. Okay, so wait. I don't see that on here, so we have to find that out. What is do you know what the can you look up the allowing a person to use the plate? Can you look up that offense code and find out what the penalties of that is?
I don't think
Mrs. Odom has a. You have Mrs. Odom. You can unmute yourself if you would, please.
Yes.
So, Mrs. Right here in front of me, I have a license never acquired. I'm going to guess that you don't have a driver's license now, or do you?
Correct. I
Okay.
don't. I'm working on it still.
We're going to try to help you get to that end, okay? But I just want to see, you only have this one charge, driver's license never acquired. The offer here is to plead to an amended count of failure to display. That's a 0-point offense. That offense does abstract to the Secretary of State. So if you've never had a license, they are going to see that you were driving. Now, I would fine you $240 on this matter, and I would give you as much time as you need to pay. And of course, you have a right to take this matter to trial. I don't see any other ticket that was given to you at this time. So I don't know how you were stopped or what went on with the stop. And again, I will allow you, just like I did Mr. Oram, the opportunity to speak with the city attorney so that you can go over some of your rights and some of the consequences that are behind that.
No, that's okay.
You went out, Ms. Odom.
What was that code you mentioned?
That was.
Hello.
Yeah, you went out. Your phone is going out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I said, yeah, I'm guilty. I just really want to pay it off. How much did you say again?
Let's not talk about whether you're guilty or not, Ms. Odom. You know, you can definitely take the offer if you want to just get it over with. But to everybody here, we're not talking. This is not the stage necessarily for guilt or innocence. That you have to keep in mind that even though you may feel that you're guilty, it's still the obligation of the city attorney to prove that and with his proof. So you have a right to, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Now, if you're willing to accept the offer and willing to accept responsibility or guilt for that, we certainly can do that. But I just don't want you to be rushing to any conclusion right now.
Right.
If you don't have to. All right, Mr. Reed.
So I spoke with Mr. Orman, Your Honor, and it's kind of an interesting situation. He actually sold, and I want to get this out just for the record. He actually sold his car, but because of the coronavirus, the Secretary of State being shut down, he wasn't able to finish exchanging the paperwork. And I told him that if he asked for a return date, he would be able to better sort it out. He indicated to me that he instead just wanted to pay the money and get it over with. And I advised him to make sure he gets his paperwork. That way, if anything serious were to happen with the car, you know, he wouldn't be linked to it.
Okay. Now, he's going to have to, we're going to have to establish a factual basis. You explained that to him as well, right?
Yes. The only thing is just that because he wasn't driving the car, I don't think he knows anything that would have been happening when the car was pulled over or what happened in that situation. All that he knows is that he sold the car. So as far as the factual basis goes, there's not much information that I think he can give you.
Well, let me ask this, Mr. Oro. Okay, let's put this on the record. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is the city of Detroit versus David Michael Orman. Case number SP 1148834. Can you put your appearance on the record, Mr. Reed?
Attorney Arnold Reed II on behalf of the defendant, P84142. Mr. Orman, please state your first and last name for the record.
David Michael Orman.
Okay, Mr. Orman, I do understand, and Mr. Goss, I'm glad you stepped up right away. You can put your appearance on the record too, since you're here.
This is Honorable Court, Dante Goss, P60162, on behalf of the city.
Hand me that offer, please.
Okay.
All right, so we have a situation where we've given Mr. Orm an opportunity to speak with our House Counsel, Mr. Reed. Mr. Orm is charged with allowing another to use his license plate. And the offer is to plead to the amended count of improper plate. Okay, Mr. Orm, my question to you is, I understand you want to plead guilty to this matter and accept the offer that's been tendered by the people. We talked about establishing a factual basis. I guess it would be simple to just ask you first of all, let's go through this, in which I'm gonna have to go through with everyone else. Do you understand you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And if you take this offer, you're gonna be giving up that right. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody offered you anything other than what's just stated on the record?
Has anybody offered you anything?
No, sir.
Okay, you have to, the gentleman in the back, I appreciate you helping Mr. Orm out, but he's gotta walk this walk on his own, okay? If it's something
sorry,
that he
sir.
doesn't understand, if it's something that he doesn't understand, then he can discuss it with me, or he can discuss it with Mr. Reed, okay?
I'm hard of hearing. My brother's just relaying what you're saying to me.
Okay.
That's
right.
all it is.
Well, if you need me to speak, because Mr. Orm, another thing is, if your brother is basically being a translator for you, then we'll have to swear him in as well. So that's why I didn't want to go through all that. But if you need me to ask you something else, I will, okay? So, Mr. Orm, you are being charged with allowing another person to use your plates. Let me ask you this, Mr. Orm. Did you leave your plates on the car when you sold it to the other person?
It could have been inside the car, perhaps. I don't believe it was on the car because the car was broke down when I sold it. I actually had it towed to my brother's house because it would have got towed from where I live because it had expired plates already. So I believe I took them off. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't leave them on. I don't believe so.
All right, I'm gonna have to set a trial date.
No contest.
No contest. All right, Mr. Reed, he unless he wants to plead no contest, I'll allow that based on the lack of recollection, so we can, but really, you should be setting a trial date in the matter, but go ahead.
So, yes, Your Honor, I had told him the same thing to that same effect, but it's my understanding that knowing that information, Mr. Orman would still like to pay the money and just get it over with today. Those were his words. So, Mr. Orman, right now, what's going to happen is that basically you're just going to plead no contest, which means that you're not contesting this, you're not fighting this, and then, like you said, the event will basically be over. But you know that it is your right to ask the court for a trial date, at which point you would be able to come back and further defend yourself, or in the meantime, get any type of paper showing that you sold the car. But because you're foregoing this right now, you're not going to be able to do that. You understand that, right, Mr. Orman?
I understand that.
So
And I
then
can
for
tell you
further,
this, Mr. Orman, the offer will be remained open if we set a trial date. Because if you didn't allow a person to drive to use the plate, then you'd just be really saying that you're not guilty. You don't stand anything to lose to coming back, because the offer will remain open. We'll get the police officer in. You may do better. You may get this case dismissed. You'll come up, I'll give you another court date in another month or so. And if not, then you'll still have this offer available to you. So the choice is yours.
He has no documentation that he sold the bill.
It's up to you.
I would still just like to get it over with. It's going to be a hassle going through all this. I had to come 40 miles down here to do this, and I'm stressed out about just doing this. I don't want to deal with anything else. I would just like to get it done.
It's not about him being stressed out.
Right. Mr. Ullman, do you have any proof that you sold the vehicle?
You have proof that you sold the
Mr.
vehicle.
Orman indicated to me that he might have text messages, but that would be it.
All right, we'll take this plea under no contest. We'll get it closed out. All right. Mr. Orm, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, or nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. It's indicated to me that you would like to avail yourself to the offer, amended offer of improper plates as it relates to the ticket number SP 1148834 on 12/23/2020 at around 4:39 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of Schaefer and Finkel Street. The court will accept your no contest plea to the charge of allowing another to use his license plate based on no recollection of the incident. All I ask is, Mr. Orem, did you have at one time own a 2000 Honda white?
Say yes.
You have
Thank
to
you,
say
sir.
yes or
No,
no.
Yes, sir.
he's asking you if you owned the Honda.
Oh, yes, I did own the Honda.
And was that plate number DJC 6039?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay, based on that, I'm going to use what's here in the ticket as a factual basis. I'm going to accept Mr. Orm's no contest plea. However, I do have to treat that no contest plea as a guilty plea. I will fine you $240 in the matter. How much time do you need to pay, Mr. Orem?
Cash right now. I can come inside and pay it.
Okay, all right. So just as a control date, I'm going to give you 7 days to pay, June 29th, June 21st, 2021. And the fine will be $240. If you give my clerk a few minutes to get this entered into the system, you can then come in and pay that fine, okay? So give them about 20 minutes or so.
I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Mr.
Thank
Orem.
you. Yes, sir.
That'll conclude this matter. For Mrs. Odom, she has a failure to display. She never acquired a driver's license. You're not going to mom and license person. How's it drive? Can you pull up Mrs. Odom's driving record, please? Okay, I only get it to people who are, well, all I see here is one offense. No, I'm just talking about the driver. I understand that. Mrs. Odom, how is your driving record?
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
How is your driving record? What does your driving record look like? If we pull up your driving record, what are we going to see?
That I don't know what's really on there. I didn't. I mean, this I'm not gonna lie. This is my second time driving with no license, but I'm working on getting my license though.
Now, let me ask you this. I asked you one specific question. What am I going to see if I pull up your driving record? I'm giving you what I'm trying to help you as best I can.
Right.
And in order for me to help you, you have to be straight up with me. So what's your driving record going to look like?
Messed up.
Messed up. Nothing right. All right. Can you pull Mrs. Odom's driving record, please? Let's see who we have next. I need Gutierrez. I need Mr. Brian Little. I need Octavian Gonzalez Perez. I need David Law.
Run it to me one more time.
I need Mr. Brian Lowe.
Okay.
I need Mrs. Octavia Gonzalez Perez.
Okay.
I need Alejandro Gutierrez.
Okay.
And I need David Laurel.
There.
Let's pull Mr. Green out and let's get him taken care of. Mr. Green, good afternoon. I appreciate your patience. Can you hear me? Mr. Green? All right, he's not. This is formal. We already
Yeah.
took care of it.
Oh, we took care of them already?
Yes, I wrote on the top of the ticket.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Julie. I'm sorry.
I have in front of me Mrs. Octavio Gonzalez Perez.
Yes.
Is that Mr.? Gonzalez Perez?
Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Was that a Paul Green you was talking about?
Yeah, I was trying to get Paul Green as well. Is this?
Yes, sir, I'm
Mr.
here.
Is this Mr. or Mrs. Gonzalez Perez?
Mr.
Okay, Mr. Octavio Gonzalez Perez.
Yes, sir.
I have one count of driving while license suspended and another count of no insurance, both misdemeanors. I have an offer here to amend it to a failure to display and to dismiss the second count of no insurance.
Okay.
That would be a 0-point infraction. That would be abstracted to the Secretary of State. However, it is a
Okay.
misdemeanor, and I would fine you $240, but I'll give you as much time as you need to pay.
All
And
right.
I will allow you to speak with the House Counsel if you would like to speak with him about that.
All right, sir.
And that's all I see for you, is just the two matters.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you this. Do
Yes.
you have a license now?
Well, I didn't hear you clear. What was that?
Do you have a license now?
No, I'm working on that.
Okay, do you have insurance for that vehicle that you were driving?
Yes. It was my girl's car. It was not my car. It was my girl's car.
Was she insured at the time?
Yes.
Well, can you provide that insurance, proof of that?
I'm not in my house right now. I'm at work, basically.
All right. So the offer stands, dismiss the no insurance and plead to failure to display. If you want to take that, if you want to speak to Mr. Reed, I can put you in a breakout room.
I just want to pay. That's it.
All right. The court is calling the city of Detroit versus Octavio Gonzalez Perez, case number 21719937, counts 1 and counts 2. Mr. Perez, as we stated off the record, there's an offer in the file here to plead to the amended count of failure to display. I'll fine you $240 and dismiss the other count. It's my understanding that you want to avail yourself to that offer.
Yeah, I want to pay it. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Perez, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Gonzalez Perez, you understand that you have a right to a trial in this issue, in these matters?
Yes.
And you understand by taking this offer, you're going to give up that right to a trial?
Yeah.
And you're taking this, has anybody offered you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No, nobody.
Okay, and you're taking this offer on your own free will, is that correct?
The 240, right?
You're taking it on your own free will, is that correct?
Yeah, the amount that you told me, right? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, well, you're also pleading guilty to a misdemeanor. I want to make sure you know that.
Yes, yes, I know. I understand. I'm guilty.
Okay.
So.
Okay, let's draw your attention to February 3rd, 2021 at around 1 p.m. in the area of Central Avenue and Edsel Ford, where in the city of Detroit. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
Yeah, yeah.
And were you asked to provide a valid driver's license?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You gotta say yes or no, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Gonzalez.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and on that time, you couldn't provide a valid driver's license, could you, Mr. Gonzalez Perez?
Yes. I couldn't.
You couldn't, right?
I couldn't provide a license. I didn't have one.
Okay, why couldn't you provide a valid driver's license on that day, Mr. Gonzalez Perez?
I got mine suspended.
Okay, because your license was suspended at the time, right? Okay, I'm gonna accept that as a factual basis. I am going to fine you $240 in the matter. I will dismiss the other case.
Okay.
And how much time would you need to pay, Mr. Perez?
7 days, that'll be enough.
All right, how about I'll give you the 7 days, June 21, 2021. Yeah. Mr. Gonzalez Perez, if you find yourself in the situation that you haven't paid that by next week, yes, please zoom back in so that I can see if we can give you some more time, because I don't want this to add up interest and penalties and all that stuff, okay?
I appreciate that, sir.
Okay, all right, Mr. Perez, if there's no further questions, then you're free to leave.
All right, man. Have a good one, sir. Thank you.
Very well. You have a better one.
All right, bye-bye.
Sir, Paul Green is still on the line.
I got Mr. Paul Green here now.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Paul Green. Let me make sure. I have Mr. Green. Did you get Mr. Green's info? Is there a folder for Mr. Green? Did you get it, Mr. Green's?
Oh, yeah.
It is a folder for him? Oh, I have it right here. All right, so I have 3 matters in front of me. Let me make sure, Mr. Green, that there's nothing else. So there's nothing else out there. I have a, let me ask you this, Mr. Green. Did you have a driver's license on this day?
I had made an appointment, but I hadn't, it wasn't until April the 8th.
Okay. So you're gonna have to speak up too. I heard you, but when we get on the record, my court reporter's gotta be able to hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the deal. You plead to the amended count of failure to display. I'll fine you $240 in the matter, and we'll dismiss the other 2 matters. I can put you on in a room with the city attorney, with the attorney that we have for you, and he can discuss this further if you need some understanding. But it's a 0-point offense. It is a misdemeanor, and it will be abstracted to the Secretary of State.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to speak with the attorney.
Okay. I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. Mr. Reed, when you get done, since he's on the phone, I'm just gonna close the room out. It's gonna take a little delay. So he's gonna automatically be assigned.
Okay, and could you restate that offer, Your Honor? I see that he has 3 tickets, it looks like, and I know that you said that you were willing to drop 1 in exchange for his guilt and then amend it to a failure to display.
Yeah, that's the offer from the people, Mr. Reed. So he has driver's license expired. He'll amend that to failure to display and drop the other 2 matters.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put you in a room. All right. Who else do I have? I have Miss Odom. You wanted her driving record. Did we print her driving?
Go ahead and give it. She has something from 2019, but that suspension is over. Always take care that she should be in the driver's license.
Okay. All right, Miss Odom, you're getting a gift in June, okay? A Christmas gift in June, all right?
Okay.
So my city attorney looked up and he did see that you don't have the best license, but you haven't had anything since 2019, and he wants you to be able to go get a license. So
Okay.
the offer would be to allowing an unlicensed person to drive. I'll give you a 3-month delayed sentence on that, but I will close that out upon the payment of $240. So what that means is, that as long as you comply, which meaning to pay the $240 and don't get in any trouble, then this case will be dismissed. And once you make the payment, I'll dismiss it right then, and you can go get in as much trouble as you want to, Mrs. Odom. You know what I'm saying? This case won't come back on you. So your best bet is to pay the money as soon as possible, get the case closed out, and that way you can go to Secretary of State and get a license.
Okay, Your Honor. I do have a question. Is there any way that I could do like a payment plan?
Well, the payment plan is going to be this. You got 3 months to pay. And if you need it longer than 3 months, Miss Odom, then I would want you to zoom back in, and we can set up and try to make it better for you. But my suggestion to you is to go borrow the money from somewhere, pay it as soon as possible, so you can get this case closed out, dismissed, and you won't have a misdemeanor on your record, okay?
Okay.
But I'll work with you on time to pay, but the sooner you pay, the sooner the case goes away.
Right. Okay.
All
And
right.
I could pay online, correct?
You can.
Awesome.
You can pay online, you can pay at any DivDav kiosk in the city of Detroit, or you can come down to the court and pay as well.
Okay.
All right. Am I understanding you want to avail yourself to that offer?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Do you want to avail yourself to that offer?
Yeah.
All right. This is the city of Detroit versus Anastasia Odom. Case number SP 1094809. Mrs. Odom, off the record, we discussed a resolution for this matter. Has been offered to you that the people will offer a amended count of allowing an unlicensed person to drive. That is a no point ticket, and that is not abstractable by the Secretary of State. The people will also give you a 3-month delayed sentence, meaning if you fulfill all the requirements of the court, then that ticket will be dismissed and it will be off your record. I also said I would go a step further, Mrs. Odom, is that once you pay the $240 fine that I'm going to assess in this matter, I'll close the ticket out immediately. Meaning, if you can pay today, then the ticket will be closed out right now and you'll never have to worry about it again. Mrs. Odom, I also indicated to you that I would give you 3 months to pay this ticket. And if you find yourself in a situation that you can't pay it within the 3 months, I would hope, Mrs. Odom, that you zoom back in and that you ask for more time so that you don't get any other penalties and fees assessed and you don't lose that 3-month delay, okay?
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Odom, I'm going to ask you, do you understand that you have a right to go to trial in this matter?
Yes.
And you know if you take this offer that's been presented to you, you're going to give up that right. You understand that?
Yes.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what's stated in the record?
I'm sorry.
Has anybody offered you or promised you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No.
That's a no?
You're breaking up. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Has anybody offered you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No.
And you're taking this offer on your own free will, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Ms. Odom, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mrs. Odom, I'm going to draw your attention to December 23rd, 2020 at around 10:14 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of Central Street and Dick Street. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by the Detroit police on that day?
Yes.
And did that police officer ask you for a valid driver's license?
Correct.
And you couldn't provide a valid driver's license for that police officer, could you, Ms. Odom?
No, I couldn't.
And why couldn't you provide a valid driver's license?
Because I didn't have proof of a driver's license.
Because you never got a driver's license before,
Right.
have you?
No.
You've been on the road driving all this time and never went to the Secretary of State to get a license, have you?
No.
Okay. Ms. Odom, I'm going to accept the factual basis. I'm going to find you guilty of the amended count of allowing an unlicensed person to drive, 0-point offense, non-abstractable, 3-month delay, closed out as soon as you make that $240 payment. Ms. Odom, I'm going to give you until June. I'm going to give you until September 13th to make that payment. Ms. Odom, I am going to also tell you, just like I told you off the record, that if you find yourself in a position that you don't have this paid off by September 13th, please zoom back in, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other questions?
I just have like one question. Is there any chance that you could read me my case number so I can enter it when I do make a payment for online?
Certainly. You ready?
Yes.
SP, as in Sean Perkins, 109
109
48
48
09.
09. Alrighty.
That's your
Thank
number.
you.
Thank you very much. If you don't have any other questions, Ms. Odom, you have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
And good luck to you. Mr. Brian Little. Who was wait, no, Mr. Paul Green is in the thing. Mr. Little, you're up. You have blocking moving lane of traffic, and you have driving while license suspended. Let me look and see if you have anything else out in the 36th District Court world. Okay, blocking unlanded traffic. Okay, what you do have out here is you have a host of, well, 4 driver responsibility fees. The offer in this case is to plead to the amended count of failure to display from the driving while license suspended, a 0-point offense. It is abstractable, it is a misdemeanor, and dismiss the blocking traffic ticket. Again, as I said to you, I'll say to you, as I said to everyone else, is that you have a right to take this to trial. I can set a trial date and have the officer come in if you so choose. I don't think it's anything, you know, the offer will still be open, but it's your choice. I'll fine you $240 and I'll give you as much time as you need to pay. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. No, he's not muted. Something's wrong with your headset or something. All right, I think we got it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, where are you zooming in from, Mr. Little?
Can you repeat that, sir?
Where are you zooming in from?
At work.
Oh, okay, let's get you back to work then. So, did you heard the offer?
Yes, sir.
You know you have a right to trial, so we can give you a trial date. That's no big deal, and we can have the officer come in and prove that you were driving while license suspended and blocking traffic, or you can take the offer and I'll fine you $240, and then you can do it. That's your choice.
Yes, sir. I'll just pay it.
So you want to accept? You want to plead guilty on that amended count failure to display?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it on. This is the city of Detroit versus Brian Thomas Little, case number SP 11482561 and SP 11483121. There's been an offer in the file that I spoke to you just off the record, and that would be pleading to the amended count of failure to display. I said I would fine you $240 in that matter, and we'll dismiss the blocking traffic matter. I did say I would give you as much time as you need to pay. That is a misdemeanor. That is abstractable to the Secretary of State, but it doesn't carry any points. It is my understanding, Mr. Little, that you want to avail yourself to that offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Little, you know, let's do this. Please raise your right hand, Mr. Little. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down. Mr. Little, you know you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes, sir.
And you know by taking this offer, you're gonna give you that right up. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody offered you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No, sir.
And you're taking this offer on your own free will, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Little, I'm going to draw your attention back to December 23rd, 2020 at around 4:37 p.m. in the area of Russell Street and Alfred Street in the city of Detroit. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by the Detroit police on that day, Mr. Little?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, were you asked to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes, sir.
And you could not produce that license, could you, Mr. Little?
No, sir.
And why couldn't you produce that license?
Because I never had license, sir.
Okay. The court will accept your as a sufficient factual basis. The court will find you guilty of the amended count of failure to display. The court will fine you $240 in that matter, and the court will dismiss the blocking traffic matter. Mr. Little, how much time do you need to pay?
A couple of weeks.
All right, Mr. Little, how about I give you a little bit better than that? I'll give you till July 14th.
That'll work for me, sir.
And you heard me, Mr. Little. If you find yourself in the position that you can't pay this fine by July 14th, or you haven't paid the fine by July 14th, then I would ask that you zoom back in, Mr. Little, so that I can give you some more work on giving you some more time.
Thank you, sir. That's all the time I need.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Little. Other than that, if there's nothing further, you have a great day, all right?
You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Green is still. We'll wait on Mr. Green. I have Mr. Alejandro Gutierrez. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. David Laura. Hey, Mr. David Laura.
Yes, sir.
Hey, do you know you're in court, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you know there's no smoking in here?
Yes, sir.
Well, it doesn't seem like you know.
Okay.
Mr. Laura, also, I see that you're driving.
Now I'm pulled over.
Okay. All right. All right. Mr. Alejandro Gutierrez, did I get that right, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm doing good.
That's very well. Mr. Gutierrez, as far as your case is concerned, I do have an offer here, but let me just take the minute to make sure that nothing else is out there in the 36th District Court world that you may or may not know about. So, one, two, three, which I have in front of me. I see 4. And 5. Okay, Mr. Gutierrez, I have 3 matters here in front of me, but I also see that you have an unauthorized person in a hospital that dates back to 2016. What about Don Painter as an officer of Gus? He's the officer that wrote this ticket. I don't know if he's around or not. But you're 2016. And then I have another matter. Oh, more serious. Operating while intoxicant. When was that? This was an '04 matter. This goes way back. Let me see if this is the right Mr. Gutierrez. This is not the right Gutierrez, because I know you're not in your close to 70s, right?
No, sir.
That's not right. What's your date of birth?
It's May 9th, 1999. I mean, 91.
Okay, so it looks like neither one of those are you, thankfully. All right, so all we're dealing with today is, and I'm sorry about that, I just wanted to make sure is some other Alejandro Gutierrez's that are making you look kind of bad today, Mr. Gutierrez, but we'll toss those.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you have three matters in front of me. I have all three misdemeanors. I have failure to display that I'll fine you $240 on. I have two other tickets, no insurance and the unregistered dismissed. I also have Mr. Arnold Reed II on the line to speak with. If you want to talk about this offer, it is a 0-point ticket. It is abstractable as a Secretary of State, and it does not, and it is a misdemeanor.
Okay, so I would only pay the $240 for one ticket, and the other two tickets will be dismissed.
Yeah. You know something, Mr. Laura, I can't help but think that you're still driving.
I'm not driving, sir.
Huh? Why do you say that? All right, what I'm going to ask you to do, Mr. Laura, is get out the vehicle.
Well, my side door don't open anyway, so I'm going to be climbing over the other side.
That's fine. So, Mr. Gutierrez, what would you like?
Yeah, so yeah, I had a question. So you're saying that I just pay the $240 for that one ticket, and the other two tickets will get dismissed?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right. All right. This is the City of Detroit versus Alejandro Gutierrez, case number SP 114-3304, counts 1, 2, and 3. Mr. Gutierrez, off the record, we discussed your options here, and it's been presented by the city attorney for you to plead guilty to one count, the amended count of failure to display. I indicated I would fine you $240 in the matter and dismiss the other two tickets. It is my understanding that you want to take that offer, and I'll also give you as much time as you need to pay.
Okay. Okay, Your Honor.
Right. Can you raise your right hand, Mr. Gutierrez? Or do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Gutierrez, you know you have a right to a trial in the matter?
Yes.
And you know by taking this offer, you're going to give up that right?
Yes.
And has anybody offered you or promised you anything other than what we just stated in the record?
No, Your Honor.
And you're taking this on your own free will, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, let me draw your attention to December 8th, 2020 at approximately 3:42 p.m. in the area of Lawndale and Chamberlain in the city of Detroit. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by the Detroit police officer?
Yes.
And at that time, did that Detroit police officer ask you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't produce that license, could you, Mr. Gutierrez?
No, Your Honor.
And why couldn't you produce that license?
It was suspended at the time.
Okay, I'm gonna accept that as a sufficient factual basis. I'm gonna find you guilty of the amended count of failure to display. I'm gonna fine you $240 in the matter. Mr. Gutierrez, how much time do you need to pay?
You get it'll be 1 week. Now, on Friday I get paid. I'll pay it off.
All right, why don't we give you, well, I'm gonna hold you to that 1 week, Mr. Gutierrez. And I'll tell you,
Okay.
just like I tell everybody else, if you find yourself unable to pay that June 21st, 2021, then please zoom back in, Mr. Gutierrez, and see if the court can give you some more time, all right?
Okay.
All right, I apologize for that other stuff, but, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody knows what they have out here. Apparently, those aren't you, your dates of birth don't match, but the last name and the first name are the same, but I imagine there are a lot of Alejandro Gutierrez's in the city of Detroit, and my apologies, all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. None of the questions, you're free to leave, Mr. Gutierrez.
Okay. You have a good day.
You as well. Mr. Lara,
Yes, sir.
I see you're near Chamberlain Avenue as well.
Yes, sir.
So-
Homer Street.
Homer Street. I was just over there. Is that by Clark Park?
It's a few minutes down from it.
I was just over
175.
there. Clark Park is on Woodmere Street, isn't it?
Patton Park is.
Patton Park,
Yes, it's by Woodmere.
where they play all the
Clark
soccer,
Park's.
where they play all the soccer
Yes,
teams
sir.
on Sunday.
Yes,
I was
yes.
just over there yesterday watching the soccer games. So
Yes.
I don't have an offer for you. Mr. Lara is charged with improper plates and no insurance misdemeanor. By any chance, Mr. Lara, did you have plates on that day or insurance on that day?
Not proper plates, no. And insurance as well, no.
Proper place, Your Honor, that's
Improper plates, dismiss the other one. Let me,
you don't have what you want. All of the
Mr. Lara,
same. You still need me to check for the officer? Or you're done?
that would be Paul Green. Yeah, check for that officer. I think that would be Paul Green.
That's the officer's name, already.
No. The officer's name. No, I don't think we need to. The officer in Paul Green's name is Jones, Lorenzo Jones.
Oh, yeah, you know.
But, you know, he's here.
Oh, yeah, you know.
So, no, the other guy was ready to take it and be gone, so. All right, I have the two cases of improper plates and no insurance misdemeanor. Let me just look up your name one more way.
Okay.
So do you go to the park and watch those games, Mr. Laura?
No, it gets way too packed for me.
Oh, it's pretty packed. It's a pretty nice event. I didn't know all that went on down there.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff actually goes on. A lot of
We'll see.
fun family things. Just gotta
Yeah,
be willing
they
to go out and get in there.
You got a nice event. Only thing I wish is that someone could approach the city of Detroit and have them fix those fields up properly so it'll give them a proper place to play the game.
Yes, yes. They're putting all kinds of weight workout benches there, but nothing for the players.
Well, maybe your community leaders over there can seek that out because it's a very nice event. So, Mr. Laura, I have an offer here that would be a 1-for-1, and that would be to dismiss the no insurance ticket and find you guilty of the improper plates. The reason why there's no amended plea for that is because improper plates is pretty much the lowest you can go on the misdemeanor totem pole. It has no points, and it's not abstractable to the Secretary of State. So essentially, it'll just be a misdemeanor, and it will be a fine of $240.
Okay, please.
I tell you, just like I tell everybody else, we have a very good House counsel here, and Mr. Arnold Reed II, and you can speak with him about that. But if you're ready, if you're fine with that recommendation and you're willing to accept that, we can go ahead and get you out of here and on your way.
I'm fine with that, Your Honor.
Okay. This is the City of Detroit versus David Lee Laura. Case number SP 1139708, counts 1 and count 2. Mr. Laura, there's been an offer extended to you to plead to the improper plate ticket straight up, a 0-point offense, no abstraction. However, it is a misdemeanor. I said I'd fine you $240 in the matter and dismiss the no insurance ticket. It's my understanding that you want to avail yourself of that offer.
Yes, sir.
And just like everybody else, Mr. Laura, I'll give you the opportunity to have as much time as you need to pay that ticket.
Thank you very much.
Can you raise your right hand, Mr. Laura? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Laura, you understand you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes.
And if you give up that, by taking this offer, you're going to give up that right to a trial. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Laura, and has anybody promised you anything other than what has been stated in the record?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Laura, and you're taking this on your own free will, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me draw your attention back to November 29th, 2020 at 4:49 p.m. in the area of Chamberlain and Woodmere Street. Did you have in the city of Detroit, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
Yes.
And did that Detroit police officer, were you driving a vehicle that didn't have the proper plates, meaning that they weren't registered or up to date or something to that effect?
Yes, sir, it was.
And was this on a 2008 Honda?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, I'm going to accept your guilty plea to the improper plate ticket. I'm going to fine you $240 in that matter, and I'm going to dismiss the other matter.
Okay.
How much time do you need to pay, Mr. Law?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How much time do you need to pay?
We can a good couple weeks to maybe 3 weeks.
Well, why don't we give you 30 days, July 14th.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. And Mr. Laura, I'm going to say to you, like I said to everyone else, if you find yourself in the position where you can't make this payment by July 14th, I would hope that you would zoom back in so that we can see if we can get you some more time, because I do not want this to snowball into extra penalties and fees. Okay, Mr. Laura?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I understand.
If you don't have any further questions, Mr. Laura, then you have a great day, and I might see you out there at Patterson Park.
Could you repeat that, please? I'm so sorry about it.
I said, if you don't have any further questions, Mr. Laura, is that Patton Park? Patton Park. If you have no further questions, Mr. Laura, you have a great day, and I might see you in Patton Park one day or in that area.
Okay, I look forward to that, man. You have a good one. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you have a better one. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
What did you, Mr. Reed, what did you and Mr. Green talk about?
So Mr. Green is ready to accept the offer of the failure to display for the other two dropped. I believe he should still be in that room.
Yeah, I'm pulling them out now. It's going to take a second. Is that Mr. Green?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Green. from my understanding, you are wanting to, you had a chance to speak to Mr. Reed,
Yes.
and you want to accept the offer that's been presented to you?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Let's call the case. This is the City of Detroit versus Paul Anthony Green. Case numbers SP 1140267, counts 1 and counts 2, and SP 1140269. Mr. Green, there's been an offer presented to you to plead to the amended count of failure to display for the expired license ticket, and dismiss the other two matters. I did indicate to you that I would fine you $240 in the matter, and I also indicated to you that I would give you as much time as you need to pay. You had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Reed in the breakout room regarding this offer, and it's my understanding at this point you would like to take this, avail yourself to this offer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Reed, I need you to raise your right hand for me, please. Mr. Green, I'm sorry. You don't have to do it, Mr. Reed. Mr. Green, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Green, you know you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes.
And you know by availing yourself to this offer, you're going to give up that right. You understand that?
Yes.
Did anybody promise you anything other than what we just stated in the record?
No.
Okay, and you're taking this offer on your own free will, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to draw your attention to December 22nd, 2020 at around 12:30 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of East McNichols and Bloom Street. Mr. Green, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by the Detroit police officer?
Yes.
And at that time, did that police officer ask you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't produce that license, could you, Mr. Green?
No.
You couldn't produce that license, why?
They had expired. My birthday had passed.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hey, your license expired. His birthday is 12/17/1954. Huh? 12/22/2020. And Mr. Green.
Yes.
What was that, sir?
It was, he's got a civil infraction of no trailer lights.
And that's gonna be dismissed.
That's probably why he got pulled over, I'm assuming. And no place on trailer, yeah. Those two we dismissed, and this is a failure.
Who wrote that? No, you're right.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's a matter of, I can only assume.
Your Honor, I'll take off P60162, behalf of the city. At this time, Your Honor, I'm going to recommend dismissing this matter because it was very difficult 2020 to get appointments with the Secretary of State. However, I would just advise Mr. Green that if he's still driving the vehicle, make sure it's paid.
And the trailer
The
lights.
trailer, right, fix the trailer light and get place for that trailer.
Let me ask you this, do you have a driver's license now, Mr. Green?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What about the plates on that trailer? Do you have sufficient plates on that trailer?
Yes, I do.
And did you get the trailer light fixed, Mr. Green?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Mr. Green, based on that, I'm gonna take the recommendation of the city attorney and dismiss all of these matters. We do understand that your birthday was 12/17/1954. You got these tickets about 5 days after your birthday. We do understand that the Secretary of State has been very difficult to access based on them not having your set appointments, and sometimes they're 6 months away. So we'll take that under consideration. Also, based on the fact that you have plates now on the trailer and you have fixed the problem of the lights, you substantially complied. Mr. Green, we're going to dismiss these matters, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing further, Mr. Green, then you have a very good day. I appreciate your patience.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
All right. Have a good day, too.
All right. And that's all, Mr. Reed.
All right. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a nice day.
Okay, you do as well.
Mr. Reed, you look just like your father. When I walked by, I was like, that's a young Arnold. I didn't know, I never met you before, but when I knew you had to be his son.
He's way more handsome than his dad. Don't do that. Hey, come on.
But I got much respect for your dad.
Hey, I have much respect for your dad as well. Tell him we said hi. Congratulations to you. And that's it.
Thank you so much. I'll tell them that you both say hello. Until the next time we're able to meet in person, you both stay safe, okay?
You as well. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.